You know, I think this is the top that I wore in my very first YouTube video. I don't think I've worn this since, but like, look at these sleeves, honey. Oh, I love this top so much. It's like old school Fashion Nova. Look at this like detail on the side, the color, everything is just such a vibe. Also, I did a little eye. Like, so I just feel like I'm looking so good today. Ah! Bookish channel where we talk all things books all the time. My name is Noble Kanya, your resident book lover, book nerd. Welcome if this is your first time here. Welcome back if you're an OG and you've been with me for a while. What up, guys? So today's video, I'm slightly embarrassed, but also I feel like these are nice problems to have, but low-key I feel like I went a smidge overboard. I was trying to do a haul video and then I took the books down that are like new, that I've got like in the last 2 weeks of April / first 2 weeks of May, and I was just like, oh shit, there's like over 40 or like over 30 actually it's like over 40 books, and I was just like, oh, like how did this like, and this happens to me all the time, and I think it's like because my birthday's in May, this always happens in April where I'm just like, my birthday's next month, treat yourself, and I end up like in a really crisis type situation. But also I've been gifted quite a few books in like the last week of April when I was away at Thorny Bush. When I got back, guys, I should have showed you the footage of like the boxes in my room. My mom was just like, what's happening here? And I was like, I don't know, like they just arrived. So like, yeah, I want to show you guys, that's what this video is going to be, like me showing you guys a whole video of all the books that I've gotten in the past month or so. There are a lot of them. Some of them I'm super excited about because I ordered them myself and I'm just like, I finally have this book. And others are like books that I was sent that I'm just like, okay, this looks interesting, so we'll see how we go. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of the books I'm about to talk about, if you're interested in any of them, what you think like of any of these books. I really like it when you guys tell me that like, oh no, that book sucks. Or when you guys are just like, yes, I really want to read that too. Okay, cool. So let's dive in because there's quite a few books. I don't want this video to be a million years long, but you guys know I talk a lot, so like this might end up being super long, but you know what, you guys are riders, so we'll be okay. Okay, whole video, let's go. Oh, and before we get started, some light admin. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and at PrettyXBookish, like, comment, follow, share, all that fun stuff. You guys know the drill. Wow, I'm just like staring in the camera like my makeup came out so well today. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, whole video, let's go. Okay, so whole video, books that I have got. Okay, I'm gonna start with a book that I think I may have shown you guys like in another vlog or something, but then because of my brain, the way that I work, you guys know I explained this, I think I explained this anyway. So the first book is, take a hint, oh no, actual age, Youve Brown. So I actually ordered this book when it came out, but then I accidentally ordered the Pyatkis edition, which is the UK edition. It's the same cover, but it's slightly shorter, like that much shorter than the Avon editions, right? But I have the Avon editions of the other two, so when I put it on the shelf, I was just like, no, the height is not the same. So I had to reorder this book. So I finally have actual age Youve Brown in the right color, right cover, right height, right everything. I am definitely reading this in May. You guys can just like, you can like put that at in the bank. I'm literally waiting for my birthday weekend to read this. But yeah, actual age Youve Brown, looking forward to this one. Then the next book that I got was in the same order. So I got that from Loot, by the way. If you're looking for actual age Youve Brown, the Avon editions, they're available on Loot. The other book that I got in the same haul of what I bought at Loot was Honey Butter Honey Pig Bread by Francesca Ekuyasi. It's an African lit book. I'm a Nigerian writer. So Lip Gloss Mafia. So I think it was Amin and also Books X Snap, if you follow them on Instagram, raving about these. These are my two favorite Nigerian bookstagrammers. And so I was just like, okay, if they are raving about it, I'm gonna get it. It's giving me, so okay, let me just like see what it's about. Oh yeah, I remember it's like sensuous, it's like mythical prose. It's like a set in real world Nigeria, but apparently it's got a lot of like magical realist, mythology mythology, mythicization elements to it. So I'm excited about it. And apparently the writing is the big draw on this one. So apparently Francesca Equiasi's writing is very lyrical, and you guys know I stan a lyrical writer. So this is the second one that I got that I'm super excited about. Let me know if this is on your radar as well. I'm planning to read this in May as well so that I can get the review out. I'm trying to prioritize reviewing African books as quickly as I can, because I know a lot of people always ask me, oh, how is this book, how is this book? And I feel like if at the very least, as soon as I get an African lit book, try and read it in the next like 4 to 6 weeks, like even before that, because I don't want it to be sitting on my shelf and then you guys just like don't know if it's good or not, especially if it's a new release. So this is another one that I got in the same pile from Loot. Right, then when I went to Cape Town, because I am that girl who like buys books everywhere, I went to the exclusive book sale. Oh, right. Okay, wait. Where did I put those ones? Okay, one of them is here. The other one is here. And you guys asked me, oh, here they all are. You guys asked me what I got. And I ended up not showing you then because like I was just like, I didn't have time and I ran out of time. And like that vlog ended up being really long a little bit. So this is what I ended up getting at the Bourbon Books at, what's it? What, deep refuge in Cape Town. So it's a huge, I showed you guys, if you watch my, I'll probably link it below, my vlog from Cape Town. It's a huge warehouse sale. So what I ended up getting was, the first book was What Mama Left Me by Renee Watson. So I read Love is a Revolution after I bought this book. I think Renee Watson, I think I like the messages in her book. I just think they're slightly a little bit younger than me, but I'm definitely going to read this and I'll probably either read it or I'll probably gift this one. But like Renee Watson, also I love her covers. They're just like so my vibe. Then I also managed to get Welcome to Lagos by Chibundu Onuzo. I haven't read this book, and it's one of those African lit books, Nigerian books that I've seen a bunch since it came out. I think it came out in like 2018 or something. Let me double check. But I think it came out, yeah, 2017, and I still haven't read it, and I managed to pick it up for 60 rand. So yes, I got Welcome to Lagos. I also got, and this is a book that like people are going to be like, why? I got Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Everybody knows I hated Carry On. I thought that book was like basically a Harry Potter ripoff, but for some reason, some strange reason, I have been thinking, what were their names again? Simon and, no, not Simon specifically. What was his Baz? I have been thinking about Simon and Baz for like, they keep popping into my mind. And I realized as much as I hate Rainbow Rowell's writing style, I thought the book was really bad. I want to know what's happening with Simon and Baz. So I found this for 60 bucks. I was just like, okay, let me just pick it up. Let me read it. So yeah, that was the only reason. I know that like I went back on something that I said, which was that I hated that book, but I ended up getting it, so you know, forgive me. The other book that I got, guys, was a hardback of a book that I saw at Exclusive Books, and then I ended up seeing it at Bourbon Books for 100 bucks. And when I saw it at Exclusive Books, I really wanted it, but I was like, oh my god, I'm not paying 400 rand. But it is Tsarina by Ellen Elpston. It is basically a book about, I think her name was, no, not Catherine. Yeah, it was Catherine the First of Russia. I think this is a fiction, it's giving me Stephen Fry vibes, where it's like a fiction, non-fiction book, where like she takes elements of like the historical realities of Catherine the First and then imbues it into a fictional book. So basically, she's like this young upstart who ends up meeting, I think like the Tsar or something, Tsar Peter the First, and then she basically like finesses herself to become Catherine the First. I find Russian history so interesting, and I really haven't read a lot of fiction books or even non-fiction books on it. So this book, I'm so glad. Also, bruh, I can't even show you guys properly. The lighting's a bit weird, but this cover, oh my god, it is absolutely gorgeous. This cover is so beautiful. So I got this for 100 bucks. So happy about that. Then the other one I picked up at that same sale, the last book, was, I got The Memory Police, bro. I found The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa for 60 bucks. I was like, oh, when I saw it, because I've been saying I want to read more Asian lit, and this one was, I think it came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. So that's like a really big steal. No, it came out in 2019. It came out in 2019, but last year I saw it a bunch on Bookstagram. For some reason, I think a lot of people jumped on it late. So I picked this up as well, and I was just like, it looks really good. So I'm interested to read that. Yeah. Right. Then, next up, when I went to, I think this was still Cape Town. Yes, still in Cape Town. When I was leaving, Oh my god, I make myself sound like such a psycho. When I was leaving Cape Town, I ended up going to Bourbon Books at the paddock, and I think I showed you guys on Instagram, but I picked up the Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigirdar. I think that's how you say her last name. So it's a queer YA novel. It's a sapphic queer YA novel. I think the girls are... No, I can't speak specifically to their specific ethnic group, but they're South Asian. I know they're South Asian. I just wanted to be specific because I hate it when people say, oh, they're Indian, but they're not Indian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to be specific. So I'll give you guys when I do the wrap up, because this one I'm probably going to read in June during Pride Month. So I'll tell you specifically during the wrap up. But right, the Henna Wars, so glad to have this. I've heard rave reviews about it, but the hardback was a bit expensive, but like I found the paperback at Bourbon Books, so I was happy about that. Then the other book that I picked up, this I was so happy about. My brain was like, huh. So there's this series by J.R. Ward called The Bourbon Kings. So I read The Bourbon Kings book 1, and then I bought The Angel's Share, which is book 2. This was like 2-3 years ago. I left it on a flight. I literally was halfway through and I left it on a plane. Very like, when I was like at home, I was like, no. So I left it on a plane, right? And then I have not been able to find this book again since then. It was like sold out everywhere, and everywhere that was like selling it to me was like selling it for like $300, like imported stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm not spending that much money. Then I was at Bourbon Books, and I tell you guys all the time, I be flipping through the sales section, every single bookstore, especially Bourbon Books. When I walk in there, I check the sales section because you always find a gem. And then I found The Angel Share for 89 Rand. So I was just like, girl, ancestors showed up to work. So this one I'm really excited to get to, because I really want to, because I have book 3, The Devil's Cut, because I got it at the exclusive book sale for like $30, and I was just like, I'm gonna find Angel Share one day, so let me buy Devil's Cut just to be ready. And now I'm ready to read book 2 and 3. I really loved it. It's a series that's giving me it gives you very Dynasty vibes. It's set on like it's set in the South, in the US, and it's like this super rich family that's got all this drama and all these lies and intrigue, and there's murder. Very Dynasty vibes, giving me very soap opera vibes, but I really enjoyed it. And then, all right, when I got to the airport in Cape Town, well, I actually have a problem. When I got to the airport in Cape Town, I picked up the last 2 books, and that was, I found Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Ray, and I read the first book in this series, The Right Swipe, so I really enjoyed it. So, but The Right Swipe I read on my Kindle, so finding this in physical was great. So I got Girls Gone Viral, and then another one, like the what's this thing? The exclusive books at the airport in Cape Town has everything. I don't understand why the airport bookstore has like books that you could never find in store. I got One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. It is a plus-size main character romance novel, basically set on the same premise as The Bachelor. I think she becomes the Bachelorette. I think something happens and then she becomes like the first plus-size Bachelorette, and it's the whole this thing of finding love, trying to love yourself in that whole context. And I find The Bachelor hilarious. I don't watch The Bachelor so much anymore, but I love dating reality shows. Like I used to be a huge fan of The Bachelor, so I'm really interested to see what they do with this book. So these are the other 2 that I picked up in Cape Town. Right, okay, so wow, this is getting very chaotic. The next batch of books are books that I was sent by Atria. So Atria was nice enough, kind enough, lovely enough to send me this whole stack of books of some of their releases from last year, because this is the first time I'm on their mailing list. So thank you so much to Atria Books in the US for sending me these, for shipping these to me. Shout out, love you guys. The first book that they sent me was To Love and to Loathe by Martha Waters. It's a historical romance. I like romance novels in general, and I'm saying that I'm diving back in. How to Fail at Flirting really reinvigorated my love of romance novels. Let me see, have I read anything this month yet? Yeah, I just read If I Don't Have You by Sarita Domingo, which I really enjoyed. Review up on Instagram. So To Have and To Love and to Loathe, let's see what they do with this. It's a historical romance. Then I also got sent In 5 Years by Rebecca Serlet, This was a huge Bookstagram fave last year, and it had mixed reviews. I heard some people didn't like it, but a lot of people, this book was like on everyone's feed at some point. So I'm glad to get it, and I'm also glad to get it a little bit late, because I like to read books when the hype has died down, because then you can assess things without like having all the noise around you. So In 5 Years by Rebecca Soleil is next up. They also sent me Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein. I think it's a figure skating romance. Yeah, Olympic champion, gymnastics. It's not figure skating, it's gymnastics. Romance set in like the gymnastics world, the Olympic gymnastics world. I also saw this a bunch on Bookstagram. So these are the 3 romance novels they sent me. So excited about these to see what happens with them. The other book that they sent me was a book that actually came out last year. Bookstagram was all over it, and that was Cobble Hill by Cecily von, I can't say her last name. I said Zigasar, and apparently it's not Zigasar. I can't pronounce it, but you know, that's fine. So I also got Cobble Hill, excited about this one as well. And then the other book they sent me was Laziness Does Not Exist by Devon Price, PhD. So this one is a nonfiction. I'm really excited about this one. I saw this on Alison's page. And so this book is about problematizing or engaging with the conversation around our productivity culture and how our global hyperproductivity culture has reframed like work in a way that makes it like if you are not doing the most side hustle, 9 to 5, weekend job, you are lazy. And so really thinking about how we frame laziness and what we conceptualize as laziness, and how productivity culture and measuring people's self-worth according to their productivity is actually like super problematic, and how it ties into and how it's a product of this capitalist society that makes people think that their worth is tied in how much they can produce. So I think this is going to be an interesting one, nonfiction book. Then the other nonfiction they sent to me from Atria was Do Better by Rachel Ricketts, Spiritual Activism for Fighting and Healing from White Supremacy. Now, I hate self-help books, but this is not that. So this book, from what I'm understanding, is basically a book that is exploring what it means and the kind of interior effects of white supremacy and what it means for people's like psychological and emotional well-being to exist in this environment, and then also giving people steps and thinking through how we take care of ourselves in that context. And I think that is such an interesting, I was saying to you guys, I wanted more nonfiction books, especially ones that deal with kind of race, gender, all those things that I'm really familiar with, but coming from different angles. Like, you know, I read the Address book, and then I also read, what was the other one that I really enjoyed? How to Argue with a Racist. Those kinds of books that are rooted in kind of discussions about racism and white supremacy, but coming at it from a different angle. So this is Do Better by Rachel Ricketts. Hopefully get to that soon so I can give you guys a review. Then the other book that I was sent, not by Atria, but also sent by the author and through Simon & Schuster, was It Had to Be You by Georgia Clark. This is like a little signed piece, so thanks Georgia for that. So It Had to Be You. I love this. It's a romance novel set in New York. I think it's a multi-character, multi-perspective romance novel, giving me, apparently it gives you Love Actually vibes, just set in New York and more contemporary. So yes, thank you for that one. I'm trying to see, what am I missing? Because some of the stuff is still on the shelf because I couldn't put it all next to me. I ain't got no space. And then the other book that I actually just randomly picked up at Exclusive Books, finally, with the bullet, was Bridgerton, the Viscount Who Loved Me. Sorry, my brother just dragged me for filth the other day because I was showing him the book, and then I was like, Viscount, and he's just like, ma'am, what's a Viscount? And I was just like, it's that. He's just like, actually, it's Viscount because it's a Viscountess. Is it a Viscountess? And I was just like, okay, wow. He's like, you're probably one of those people who say colonel instead of colonel. I'm just like, okay, drag me. Wow. So Bridgerton, the Viscount Who Loved Me. I got book 2 of the Bridgerton series. I love that TV series. I haven't read any of the books, and I'm thinking I want to do that. Then when I was in Durban, I said to you guys, but I didn't show you, I managed to find Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. I got this at the Bargain Books in Westgate. So yeah, this is one of those, I think it's a YA. I know it's a YA, but I think it's a queer YA. A lot of people are saying to me it's not, but then other people saying that it is, so I'm not 100% sure. And the back doesn't really elucidate much. So this is another book that I got that I'm super excited about. Okay, so we are through what's sitting next to me here. There's a whole card here, don't worry, like we ain't done. This card section, wow, there's so many books here. I just realized like I actually just bought a lot of books. So then I also got sent by Blackbird Books Invisible Strings by Naledi Mashishi and All Gamoras Are the Same by Tenjo M. Swane. These two books, I'm hoping to read at least one of them in June and one of them in May. These are two non-fiction books by Black female writers. Blackbird Books is a Black female-owned publishing house in South Africa. It's an independent publishing house, and they have an incredible body of work. I think I say this all the time. People ask me for South African lit recs. Go and check on Blackbird Books' website. They are probably, for me, in terms of quality of work and in terms of like real literary fiction and written by mostly a lot of South Africans but also other African writers, I definitely recommend you check out Blackbird Books. So they sent me these two books, so I'll probably read these soon and then give you guys an idea of them. Oh, sorry, I forgot one more book from Atria. Sorry. And this is an arc they sent me of Shallow Waters by Anita Kopash. It's coming out in August. It is a non-fiction, it's a fiction book set in mid 1800s in America, fusing it. Apparently, the water dancer meets the legacy of Orisha. So it's giving me mythology, specifically Yoruba mythology vibes, mixed with like slave narrative, mixed with like plantation slave narrative in the US and the plight of the African American people. So it's giving me those vibes. So I'm definitely going to read this before August to tell you guys if it's worth buying or not. So yeah. Then, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss anything because I don't want to have to do this again. So then the next books, let me pull these out from here so that I can just give you like a clear. Okay, so the next books are books that I got sent by JB. So Jonathan Ball sent me these books, I think like 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I just want to make sure I get all of JB's books so we can do this in some semblance of an order. Okay, the first book is An Ordinary Wonder by Buki Papillon. So it is a queer Nigerian, I think it's set in Nigeria, yep, queer Nigerian book. It's a debut novel. It's An Ordinary Wonder is the powerful coming of age story of an intersex twin Otto who is forced to live as a boy despite their heartfelt belief that they are a girl. So it is a queer African lit book. This is definitely scheduled for June. I have been amassing my Pride Month reads. This is going to be at the top of the list. So thank you so much for JB for sending me An Ordinary Wonder. The other book they sent me is What's Mine and Yours by Naima Costa. This was actually in one of my anticipated release videos. I think it might have been January or February because it came out then in the rest of the world. South Africa, I think we just got it in stores now. So What's Mine and Yours by Naima Costa. They also sent me, literally, I was so excited. You guys know I'm obsessed with this series if you follow me on Instagram. And that is the series by JD Robb. I think this is like book 53 or something. And I'm on book 50 or 51. I think I just haven't read the one prior to this one. So Golden in Death by JD Robb and Eve Dallas thriller. This is like the only intriguey book that I like, and it's because it's giving me very NCIS Law and Order vibes. I like the fact that they're solving crimes, and I also love Eve and Rourke, that they're like, love is so solid. So they sent me those. They also sent me The Book of Not by Titi Dangaremba. Sorry, the little slip is playing here, but they sent me The Book of Not by Titi Dangaremba. I have read Nervous Conditions. I rave about it all the time. So this is book 2. I didn't know it was a trilogy. Genuinely had no idea that that Book of Nervous Conditions was a trilogy because I read Nervous Conditions eons ago. I think it was one of my first African lit books that I read. I think I was still in like varsity, like first year or something. So this is the next book, The Book of Not, and I really like these new. I like this the fact that like these books are coming out in like covers that have cohesion. So I probably will get this version of Nervous Conditions as well. So they sent me this. They also sent me, is this from them? No, that's from someone else. They also sent me Here Comes the Miracle by Anna Beecher. I've never read any Anna Beecher books. I read the back of this book and it's going to make me cry. It's got elements of like a queer love story back set in like the 80s or something. And then someone gets cancer later. Grandparents, grandfather. It's giving me very, you know how like in the Notebook it's a flash forward and flashback vibe, giving me that vibe. So I don't know. I haven't read anything from Anna Beecher, so thank you to JB for sending me that. Wow. Okay. Whew. they also sent me, I finally have a physical copy of Blackbird by Matthias Girapoi. So I actually don't know what I'm going to do with this copy because my mom also got me a surprise hardback of Blackbird because I raved about this book, so I got a hardback of it. So now I have 2 copies of it, so I'll probably do a giveaway, but I just like, this is probably one of my favorite books still. It's still going to be in the top 10. It's still making it. So yeah, this is a book that I also got from JB. They also sent me this poetry collection, Years of Fire, South African Poems of Decolonization by Yawumi Mbao. So thank you so much for that as well. Let me see. What else is down here? Oh, right. This is another book they sent me, a nonfiction called Material Girls. By Kathleen Stock, Why Reality Matters for Feminism. So it's my understanding that this book is a critique of the influential theory that we all have an inner feeling known as gender identity, and that this feeling is more socially significant than our biological sex. Professor Kathleen Stock surveys the philosophical ideas that led to this point and closely interrogates each one, from de Beauvoir's statement to Judith Butler's claims. She looks at biological sex in a range of important contexts, including women-only spaces and resources, healthcare, epidemiology, and political organizations. So I think this book is basically looking at gender theory and thinking about how the philosophical theoretical underpinnings of gender theory as an academic study relate to women's like lived physical reality of experiences. So looking forward to that as well. Well, I'm trying to breathe because like I'm trying to make sure you guys are not here for like 6 million years. But yeah, so far some really, really good ones. I have a couple more. So yeah, then I got sent by Penguin. So I was telling them that I was obsessed with Troy. You guys know my review is like a 5-star rave review. So they sent me Mythos and Heroes. I'm so excited about these two. So these are, I think Mythos came first and Heroes came second, and then Troy came third. Basically Greek mythology, fiction, non-fiction, Stephen Fry vibes. Definitely going to try and find the audiobooks. I wonder if they're on Scribd. Get the audiobooks for these because Stephen Fry's narration vibes. So these are the other 2 books that I got sent from Penguin. Penguin also sent me Malcolm Gladwell's new book, The Bomber Mafia, a story set in war. I have no idea what it's about. I've read all Malcolm Gladwell's other books, so looking forward to this one as well. What else? Oh, right. Penguin also sent me Fragile Monsters by Catherine Menon. It's a literary fiction book set in Malaysia. I have never read a book set in Malaysia. There's a number of South Asian countries and like East Asian countries that I've never read books set in that location. And I loved Malaysia when I visited, so this should be an interesting book. I think it's a book about a girl who returns to Malaysia and has a fraught relationship with her mother. A grandmother, a difficult relationship with her grandmother, and so her name is Mary. So this is another book that I'm looking forward to as well. So thank you so much to Penguin for that one. Oh my god, that pile is definitely gonna fall. Okay, sorry, let me just like, sorry, I just made sure all of that stuff didn't fall. So the next book that I got, the next batch of books that I got sent was from Pan Macmillan, South Africa. So thank you so much to Pan. They sent me Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. So I'm just like, yes, I really like this series. I thought it was so good. And then they also sent me Forever Ends on Friday by Justin A. Reynolds. So just a disclaimer, I really did not like The Opposite of Always, which was his first book. I thought like there was something about it I did not enjoy. I liked the writing, but the actual, like, there's something about the way he didn't explain why the little boy could bring people back from the dead that I was just like, I don't understand what's going on here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one to see if this is much better. Then I got a queer YA book called Here the Whole Time by Vitor Martins. So this one, so happy to finally have. I've been eyeing this book for a while and I'm looking forward to reading it during Pride Month. Then the other book that I got sent was We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. So thank you so much to Pan for sending me this book finally. I'm looking forward to reading it. Thank you so much. Then I also got sent, which is where, because I've already read it, sorry, it's up there and I'm not going to bring it down because it's sitting on a stack of books. They also sent me Transcendent Kingdom, and this was Penguin. They sent me Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi. I've already read it like the first week of like May, so it's up there. Look out for it in a whole video, in an unboxing video. No? in a wrap-up video, girl. Like, you're getting your stuff very confused. Then I got sent by NB Publishers. They sent me The Suitcase of Memory by Ayesha Kasim. They also sent me this book called, sorry, whoop. I don't know why they sent me this. I'm not sure if this is really my kind of vibe, but we'll see. The Karen book, the Karen book of rules, harness your inner Karen and use your power for good. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll see. Then they also sent me this book. This arrived like on Friday. You've Struck a Rock, Women Fighting for Their Power in South Africa by Gugulethu Mhlungu. I love nonfiction books written by women, and there's very few of them that I have that are coming out of South Africa, so I'm looking forward to reading this one to see if this can be on my list of faves so that I can recommend to you guys something that come out of South Africa to read. What else? Oh crap, sorry, I just saw 2 boxes that I actually hadn't opened yet. This one, oh, this is ridiculous. This one is from, this is also from Pan. They sent me 2 books. This one I'm looking so forward to, and actually Lita has already started reading it and she says it's so good. When the Village Sleeps by Sindiwe Makona. It's a fiction book set in a visionary novel about what the loss of identity and dignity do to a people afflicted by decades of brokenness. Dr. Sindiwe Makona is an author, storyteller, motivational speaker, poet, playwright, and actor. She is an acclaimed, they should have said acclaimed, and iconic, all of the above, okay? Dr. Sindiwe Makona is like the GOAT, right? So thank you so much to Pan for sending me this as well. And they also sent me this book, How I Accidentally Became a Global Stock Photo and Other Strange and Wonderful Stories by Shubnum Khan. So thank you for that. Okay, so the last book, we are now at the finish line, is a book that was sent to me by JB. It is a new YA release called As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper. He wrote The Gravity of Us, which I haven't read yet. So this is also going to be on deck for prize. I have so many books scheduled for June. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see how many of these books I actually managed to finish, because I really have set the bar hella high for Pride Month. So we'll see. So that's the other book that I have got sent. So that is, I think, the end of all the books that I got. No, sorry. Last one. This also got sent to me by, I think this was NB Publishers as well. They sent me Fred Kumalo's new book, A Coat of Many Colors, short story collection by Fred Kumalo, who's a South African writer who has written a bajillion books. So thank you so much for this as well. So that is in fact the last one. I've just double checked. Yeah. So those are all the books that I have gotten sent and or bought in the last maybe 4 weeks. Thank you so much to the mentioned publishers for sending me these. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you to me for also buying some of these, because wow, this is going to be a joke because I actually have no shelf space. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. They've been sitting in boxes, and like one of these shelves has had like 40 books on it for the past while. So we'll see what's going to happen. But anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me through this very long video. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you saw some books that you really like here. Let me know in the comments if there's anything here that you're really also looking forward to, or if there's any books here that you loved and you already read and you are so glad that I have them finally. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Before I go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram on @PrettyXBookish. Like, comment, follow, share, all the fun stuff you guys already know. Thank you so much. Bye guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.